It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning. Welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News on this, the 29th day of October. As you can tell, I'm not in studio. We've had a couple major changes here in the last few hours. The reason I'm out at the horse farm, my plan for the day was to get up, take care of the animals this morning, sit down and write my show for this morning, get it ready, and then leave and drive home, take a shower, put on clean clothes, and sit down at the studio to do the show. Well, during the night last night, I started getting the weather reports that we are right in the tropical storm warning, and the path of it is right through here. And during the night, they were calling on 65 mile an hour winds, a possibility 3 to 5 inches of rain in this time frame of when I would be driving home, getting a shower, sitting up and doing the show, and then driving back to take care of the dogs. So and I was looking at 65 mile an hour winds as a possibility, and I have to drive through a lot of trees between here and there. I thought, this could be a problem, because what happens if a road gets blocked? I can't get back and forth, can't get back here to take care of the animals. They'll be by themselves in a storm. So I'm just going to do the show from the horse farm. Well, the weather has actually softened a little bit since during the night, and it is now not supposed to be that bad. Sorry about the phone ringing. I can't get it to turn off. It's not supposed to be as bad now. It's still going to be up until early afternoon. We're going to get heavy rains, but now they're saying the wind through this area is only going to be 30, 35 miles an hour. So still, I flip a coin. Did I do the right thing or the wrong thing? Who knows? So anyway, I'm at the horse farm, which the drawback to that is if a leaf falls down outside or a squirrel runs by, the dogs are going to raise hell. So we're probably going to get interrupted. I may have to mute my microphone and yell at them, because I don't have them pinned up. They're uneasy enough with this kind of weather. So I'm noticing, just as the way I'm looking at the stream, I don't have a really good audio picture. So I'm hoping you're at least hearing this okay. If you are, let me know in the chats. If there's some problems, let me know on that. I just flipped over real quick. Gretchen's here. Sonny's here. Hey, Sonny, how was your weather down there? Did you survive the night okay? Tom Henry's with us. So we got some people here. I hope you guys are hearing this. So I do have several things to cover before I get to the stories for the day. Of course, one was the weather. The other thing, as to report back, to be totally transparent, Nikki and Roger made a donation to the cause on Tuesday, which gave me a chance to test out how it's going to work using PayPal. The bottom line to this whole thing, if you go through the super chat, I end up losing 47% of the money. They take that in fees, 47% bite. PayPal, now we had two $5 donations from Nikki and Roger. They went, I was notified by email while the show was on. So I knew that they were there, so I could at least say something during the show. The money, of course, was in my PayPal account by the time I got off the air. Now, I have two choices. I can either immediately transfer and they charge me 1%, or I can just transfer it and it'll go, they said 2 to 3 days, I think it was, or up to 3 days or something like that, with no fee, no charge, 100%. So I said, well, what the hell, for $10, let's see how long it takes, and I'll go the 0% route. It was in my bank account the next day. So it would have been the same thing if I'd paid the 1% and done it immediately. So I'm going to go with the PayPal thing whenever I can. So guys, if you guys ever want to do that, I would prefer that you use the PayPal account, because I end up getting more money actually to where it needs to go instead of into YouTube's pocket. By the way, Jason, if my friend Jason comes on today, if you have a chance, you mentioned in chat the other day about the button you're using and how you did it, and you in the chat, you told me where to go. I couldn't bring the chat back up for some reason. So could you, if you have a chance, send me a text message on what you're doing and how you're doing it. I don't know if I can do it on StreamYard. I don't know. Anyway, if you could do that, I would appreciate it. The other thing before we get started today, Cruise Amigos this Sunday, and notice our new logo, the Cruise Amigos logo. This Sunday, we're going to have our friend Allison from over there. That's one of my favorite Scottish ladies. She's one of several Scottish ladies that follows us and does all kinds of things. She's done several shows before, and she's going to do one this week on a Southern Caribbean cruise that she did, and we're just going to talk about the Southern Caribbean. And it should be fun because she's so much fun to deal with. So that'll be Sunday. We will be back at the same time as normal, which will be 3:00 Eastern Standard Time and 8:00 London time. So we're back to the same time on Sunday, as all the time clocks get fixed. Did Pete put Eastern Standard Time? Oh, he did. He put the UK Eastern, Sunday, 8 p.m. UK, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pete, you did it correctly. Congratulations. I figured you would still have Eastern Daylight Time on there. But yes, it is correct now. Okay, so that's going to be Allison Moore as our guest, and it'll be fun. Show some pictures of her recent voyage, and that was last year, I think. Anyway, whenever she was in the Southern Caribbean. So it'll give us something a little different to talk about. Okay, now there's one thing that I do need to point out, and it's become popular in my mind, at least, while I've been out here in the country at the horse farm. And I've always wanted to get naked and lay on a bearskin rug in front of a fireplace. And evidently, a Cracker Barrel has policies against that. So shot that one in the butt. But anyway, that's the way it goes. All right. Now, let me see if I can get everything pulled up here to talk about the stories for the day. Will the cruising industry finally get a green light from the CDC? I don't know if I can answer that, but there's all kinds of mixed messages coming out from all over the place. So yeah, maybe you can determine what you think. Of course, I'm going to tell you what I think. But anyway, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention long-standing no sale order set to expire midnight Saturday, once again raising the question as to whether the order will be extended or expire or allow cruises to resume from select ports in the United States. Of course, it was originally issued March 13th, and then it's been added to on April 9th, July 16th, and lastly in September 30th. And then they extended the date to Saturday. So it goes till Saturday. Now, interestingly enough, not only does the no sale order expire on Saturday, it's also the day that CLIA's voluntary operational pause for member lines sailing out of the United States expires, and the date that Transport Canada's current ban on most cruise vessels in Canadian waters is set to lapse. But still, we got mixed messages all over the place on what the CDC is going to do. You guys are familiar with the whole business of Redfield and wanting to go back into February, and then the White House getting involved, and then the CDC came back with their statement last week that looks like they're saying that they're not recommending any travel, and they did a warning. And so we really don't know. Probably the most scary thing of this one, however, or one of the scary things, Florida news outlet WESH, that's Channel 2, I think they're maybe in Miami. Anyway, WESH, they reported that the governor of the state of Florida, that's the Honorable Ron DeSantis, said that he would like to see a return to cruising, and he is in contact with the White House on how that can be done. So there we got two politicians together trying to figure out how to get cruises going. Elizabeth, I feel the big one coming. We'll see. I have ultimate faith that two politicians will get together and cure things. Oy vey. Several other things that just add to the summer pluses and summer minuses on this. Virgin Voyage became the latest cruise line to write off the entirety of 2020. Well, you talk about somebody who's been screwed. I mean, they started a new company. They got one ship that was built and another ship that's ready to come out that's been built, and they haven't sailed a ship yet. They haven't had a passenger yet. Just the timing was awful for our friends at Virgin. Well, now they've written off 2020 totally. They've moved things out now until January 3rd. Princess, bless their hearts, Princess Cruises extended a suspension of sailings from down under Australia and New Zealand until May 31st of 2021. So that whole, that's a portion. The Australia world is different. The cruise lines are different. Everything is separated into the Australia market. So it's not like Carnival. It's not like Princess. It's Princess Australia. It's still part of Princess, but it's just a weird setup. Anyway, no cruises down there till the end of May of 2021. Now, balanced out on the good side, Carnival Cruise Line is beginning the process of restaffing its ships as part of their plan for a phased relaunch to begin as early as December. Indonesia Maritime Staffing Agency announced on its Facebook page yesterday that several Carnival team members have departed Jakarta en route to St. Martin, where they will join ships including the Horizon, the Pride, and the Mardi Gras. So Carnival's pulling some people back. I mean, that's one of the things, one of the signs, clearly, a good sign toward those of you that want to get cruising going again, especially our friend Jason up there in Pittsburgh. Obviously they got to have the staff back on the ship. So they're starting some maneuvering of getting folks back. That to me is a good sign. And then our friend down at Bahamas Paradise, they stated that it fully expected the CDC standing no sale order to be lifted and they announced they hope to resume sailings. Notice they say they hope to, on board the Grand Classica on December 18th. And Oneil Khosa, the CEO, said, quote, "We're very pleased with the Center for Disease Control and Prevention's decision to lift its no sale order on October 31st. So he thinks it's lifted. It's going to lift. Who knows, folks? This scorecard's getting full. I'm half on one side and half on the other. I'm not sure which way to go. Costa updated their winter cruises. Smeralda will only sail to Italian ports until February. Deliziosa continue one-week itinerary in Italy and Greece until January 3rd. Diadema 14-day cruises to the Mediterranean is postponed until April. The Firenze will be delivered in mid-December, but won't start sailing until the end of February. And Favalusa cruises in Caribbean are canceled and replaced with mini cruises in the Med from April 2nd on. And the Deliciosa's World Tour is canceled. So Costa's got a whole bunch of changes. Of course, they're one of the ships sailing right now. And then that brings us into the whole shooting match with MSC and what's going on with the ship lines that are going in Europe right now. Some of you might have seen my video yesterday on MSC, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate the work that Dave Monk of Ships Monks did on this for me. I came up with the rumor several times that MSC was having to shut down the operation. That they're going with they've got two ships sailing. I kept coming up with rumors, but I couldn't confirm it any place. I mean, I'm an old-fashioned journalist guy. Back in the day, you get a story, you don't report the story until you've confirmed it twice. Well, I couldn't confirm it any place. I went through all the sources I had night before last. I couldn't do it. So I sent a text to Dave. I said, "Have you heard anything about this? I've heard it several times, and I can't confirm it." Well, he jumped on it like nothing. I mean, he just jumped all over it. And he started running his sources down and checking them. And he must have sent me 15 texts during the evening. And finally, he sent a message directly to MSC. And MSC responded to him, and that's why I did the video yesterday that said it's totally not true. The rumors are false. The MSC was aware of them. And in the meantime, Dave, of course, came out with the same thing. Like, absolutely. I mean, he did the work on it, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate his help on that. Not everybody of his stature would have taken time from rumors that I heard about, but he did, and I appreciate that. But then you've got France and Germany they're both locked down again. So a couple of the cruise lines that were sailing, like Tua and my brain is not functioning. Ada Cruises, both of the German lines, because of the shutdown, they've canceled now. They've backed off. They've suspended the operations that were going and successfully going. MSC says no, we're going ahead with it, and even I suppose if Italy shuts down, they'll have to stop. But so far, it's just France and Germany that's on a total lockdown, back like the lockdown we had, back in the spring. Obviously, there's tremendous spike in cases, not only in Europe, but of course in this country too. We've had the worst days through the whole thing this week. So it's awful. And then you had a river cruise over there that was sailing that had a bunch of yodelers And I guess they took their mask off and were yodeling, and 60 of them ended up testing positive. I was on a river cruise, small cruise. So anyway, we're just not getting to the balance in this scorecard till we can tell for sure what in the world CDC is going to do. I suppose if there's any good news from all of this business, it comes from maybe the strangest location that I would never imagine that I would be sitting here getting ready to talk to you about Kroger. Yeah, the grocery store, folks. Kroger has announced that it will be launching rapid COVID-19 antibody testing across its pharmacies. The FDA has authorized rapid antibody tests for Kroger pharmacies. The tests are taken by a finger prick blood sample, and results are typically available within 15 minutes. It's going to cost about $25. The rapid antibody tests are currently available in California and Michigan. Kroger expects the test to be available at all pharmacies and clinics by the end of November. Those who believe they may have previously had COVID-19 are not currently experiencing symptoms are eligible for the test. Kroger's the first retailer to offer this. God bless them. I mean, tell you, quite frankly, I didn't even know one of the options on the rapid test was a finger prick. But that's better than sticking the swab up your nose to the back of your brain, or wherever the hell they stick that damn thing. Of course, you got they're working on the spit test. We're working on the pregnancy test. All these things are still coming. But now here's one with the finger prick. It's just going to be in Kroger's. So you can get an antibody test there, $25. That's, that's not free like some politicians promised, but if you need to go get a quick test, you can do it. Now, I don't have any idea how that's going to affect us in cruising. I don't know the efficacy of these tests. They're typically not as accurate as the pain in the butt test, but we'll have to see. All right, that ends the stories, the news for the day. I do have one other thing to share with you guys, which I started to lead with it, and then I thought, well, yeah, maybe not, because we might have some new people that come on board. By the way, if you're new, welcome to the channel. This is not usually where I am. It's normally a better picture, a better sound. From my studio, and I explained why I'm not there. And it is raining like crazy, so I'm glad that I didn't drive home and take a chance on getting shut out from coming back to take care of these animals later on today. So it's still the right thing to do. Those of you that know me real closely, especially that follow me on Facebook and some other platforms, know that I went back to the lung doctor. I had an appointment yesterday afternoon, and I have to go to have a what do you call the stupid test now? I have a nodule. I call it a nodule. He called it, oddly enough, a lymph node in the lung that has gotten pretty much a lot bigger than he wants to see. And he's a little worried about it. So he said, look, we got to do this. I'm going to send you for an endoscopy, ultrasound, and biopsy. I said, okay, we were going to do a biopsy 6 months ago, and the surgeons looked at the thing and said, that's too small. And he said, well, this is a little different. This is going to be an endoscopy ultrasound. They're going to go down your throat. and we're going to get down there next to it in your esophagus, and we're going to shoot darts over into the lung to puncture this thing, because it's gotten pretty good size on it now. And we're going to see. He said, now don't get upset about this. He says, I'm not worried at all about lung cancer. He said that this is not that. I thought, wow, thank you. I'm glad to hear that. He said, but we need to find out what it is, because it's not like it should be. So I have no problem with this. I'm not surprised, because I have not seen a whole lot of improvement in the lungs capacity, and I'm out of breath if I walk 30 feet or walk up a flight of stairs. But the only problem I have with this, folks, and a lot of you guys that are in my audience are my age generally. I'm older than most of you, but in my age group generally. So you guys probably know what a colonoscopy is. Well, it's the same people that do the colonoscopy are doing this. They just grease it up and stick it down the other end. And I said, wait a minute. He said, yeah. He said, it's the same thing that they used to do the colonoscopy with. Only they're going down your throat and shoot the thing over and go, I'm not going. So I don't know when it's going to be. It's going to be sometime soon. The hospital has to set it up, of course. It is considered surgery. I mean, I get knocked out. It's an outpatient, of course. But because I've got to go back in the hospital, they got to set up for me to go for another COVID test like I did last time, which is just a pain in the butt, but I'll do that. I got no problem with that. And then whenever they do it, it's going to be, so who knows? I might have to change schedules a little bit I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, that's what it is. There's something about the same people that do the colonoscopies going down the throat. Something about that one. At least I don't have to take that awful crap you have to drink for the colonoscopy. Ugh. All right, let's go see who's here this morning. We said Gretchen, Sonny, and Tom right at the first. Sonny says the dogs barking are okay. I can't believe they've been quiet. They haven't wrestled. They haven't fought. Dooley's over there asleep in a chair. Lucy, where's Lucy? Lucy's behind me because I can hear her walking around. Lucy's the black shepherd, and the other little Frenchie's over there asleep on her rug. So they're actually being good. I'm surprised that they haven't been barking at raindrops. They bark at everything. They bark at the cat, too. Anyway, Sonny says, good here in Mississippi. Just rain and wind. Now it's sunny out. Yeah, I saw some New Orleans. Of course, those of you, I'm sure everybody knows by now. I didn't even mention this morning. New Orleans was a direct hit. The eye and everything went right through New Orleans this time. That was strange looking down Canal Street in the middle of the eye. That was kind of awesome. I mean, that's not awesome because that's awful, folks, for people to go through that, especially multiple times this year. Although this is the first one that directly hit New Orleans. It skirted New Orleans, all the other storms down there this year. But, they had some of the wind and rain around the outer bands. Tom entered the windows are clear. Maybe you just need to back up. Oh, I need to back up. Yeah, well, one of the problems is I was afraid I didn't have enough power, and where I'd like to sit over there on the dining room table, I couldn't find an extension cord in this house anywhere. So I could run my power cord to it, and I was afraid I'd run out of power. So I said, well, I've got an outlet here that I'm plugged into. This is actually the breakfast bar. So I'm sitting on a bar stool. And yeah, it's not my good camera. This is the little crappy camera and my laptop. So you are slightly fuzzy, but I hear you just fine. Thank you, Amy. I appreciate that. Emily says, good morning, gang. what was I going to fuss at Emily about? I was going to fuss at Emily about something. Don't remember what it was now. It could have been very important. I don't know. Bruce always claimed he got 70% by a super chat. Sounds like a ripoff. Well, I showed you the numbers that I got from the 1999 one. It was $10.47 is what was actually went in my bank account. So you can multiply that out and divide it out or whatever you do with math to show you the percentage. I didn't get 30%. I didn't. I mean, you know, I didn't lose just 30%. I lost more than that. But anyway, clearly the way to go is PayPal, especially when I get with Jason again to figure out how to do this PayPal button, a donate button. I don't know if I can do it on StreamYard. That's one of the drawbacks. So it might have to be, I don't know. I still got to work the details out on how to do that yet, but we'll see. Emily says, I'm listening to you guys. I am making Trader Joe's pancakes and pumpkin coffee. Okay. Wow. There's my phone ringing again. Why are you calling me when I'm in the middle of a show? I can't talk right now. I'm in the middle of a show. Let's see. Pete says, hello, everyone. I hope you join us on Saturday for our Halloween Zoom party. Costumes welcome. I wonder what Chillie will come dressed as. I'm going to come dressed as a big fat travel guy. I don't really see doing, I don't have costumes, but we'll see. I might come up with something. Gretchen, I got to go to get beautified. Every 6 weeks, they turn my gray to blonde. I'll be cutting out early. Wow. So you're going to be a blonde person again? Wow. Chillie my eyes. Oh, yeah, about me getting naked on the rug. Planning to make the party, Pete? Bring your second head, maybe? Yeah, that's what Pete ought to do. He ought to have the from the TV show, the bust of his head. Time for a redhead, Gretchen. Tom wants you to be redhead, Gretchen. Sonny says, Gretchen, you're already beautiful. No, I think so too. And there's Nikki Hi from Jacksonville. Hi, Nikki. How are you doing today? Amy says the CDC Travel Warning is apparently the same one that has been up since July. It's not a new warning. Yeah, they just publicized it. That is correct, which is why I didn't mention it specifically this morning. They got to do something between now and then. I mean, it might happen right now. So, Tom Henry, didn't you have an MRI? How did it go? The Costa ship is just too close to Marina, Sonny says. MRI was okay. I have an appointment tomorrow to go over the results. Well, I really can't say my appointment was bad yesterday. I'm not surprised. I know that they're there. Actually, it was good for him to say, look, don't worry about lung cancer. He said, you're not anywhere in the ballgame for that. I mean, that's what I was been worried about. I'm going to tell you, I smoked for 56 years. So we got a problem in there. We got to take care of it. So we'll see what happens with the colonoscopy people going down my throat. Emily says she hopes everything's okay. Fat man gives birth to an alien. Oh, no. Me too, Chillie. Gretchen says, I got to go. I wish you all well till Saturday. Okay, Gretchen, we'll see you Saturday. Make sure they sanitize that probe. Hell, I hope so. Man, I hope they do a good job of that. And everybody says goodbye. Chillie say, isn't that the truth? Oh, well. Yeah, I can't laugh about it, you'll cry. All right, that's going to wrap me up for the day, folks. And if you're new to this channel, we do this silliness every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 11 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and will be Eastern Standard Time next week. And as always, subscribe to this channel. Do appreciate that. We've got, we're slowly growing. I get a few new people every couple of days. So that'd be nice if it would start growing fast, but I don't understand how some of these people get up into multiple thousands of people so quickly. I wish I could, but that's what it is. So anyway, that's going to wrap me up for today, guys. As always, stay safe, wear your mask, socially distance, do everything you can to stay healthy until the day we can sail again soon, I hope. And I'll talk to you next time on this channel. This is the Fat Travel Guy. You have a great day. I'll see you Saturday morning.
Thank you for watching today's travel and cruise industry news. Join us every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday morning at 11 a.m. Eastern for another episode. Travel and Cruise Industry News is a production of Chillie's Cruises.